How should we define what comes after determination? This is where we become real.
Hey, what's going on? So I am here actually listening to Vadim, I think it's pronounced, Zealand, and he is a G. He is from Russia, and he's talking about his book, which is called Transurfing. And this book, I actually found it like maybe a couple weeks ago, 1 week ago. It is actually the age-old question of why does this happen? Like, why do these certain things occur in our lives, and how do we sort of, like sometimes we will have like a time where we really don't want something, and it's like, why is it that occurs instead of the thing that we do want? And he kind of dives into this whole question, and which is reality transurfing, which is what his book is called. And this right here is the Rustle of the Morning Stars, which I have pulled up right here. Part 2 of the book on YouTube. And he is really, right now, I am re-listening to it. And the thing that I wanted to say right now is that basically, myself, I've always wanted to do vlogs. I've always wanted to release and express and create my own content and put it out there, because I think that first of all, I have a lot of fun doing that, like making music. I have a lot of fun making content and stuff, but aside from that, I just feel like there's just like so much value to be had from watching and seeing other people. I'm a way bigger fan of getting on YouTube and looking up videos that are about topics of what I want to learn about or what I'm interested in than turning on the TV. Like, I pretty much don't ever, I have a TV here, but I don't ever, it just comes with my apartment. I don't watch it, I don't turn it on. I'm always wanting to like expand my brain and my mind and my kind of like way of understanding the world and life. And so for me, like people like, I don't know if you guys have seen Jake Angelis' vlogs. They're just super inspiring to me because he's always like doing stuff, and he's just like this young kid running around like in abandoned houses, like making fun of his girlfriend because she can't ride a scooter properly and shit. And he's just like this like basically like pro scooter rider. And then you got like guys like Infinite Waters, who just like always is just every single day comes out with like 2 videos, 3 videos sometimes maybe, which is insane. And the guy's like, his topics are just so on point. They are just like, that is like, thank you for making my day so much better now that I watched that. Like, appreciate the fact that you guys are making that good, inspiring stuff, because it's definitely not on television. And a lot of the stuff that you watch, just even the stuff that you comes across your Snapchat or Instagram or whatever, it may not be the most, like a lot of what the mainstream puts out is just like a bunch of bullshit, pardon the French here. So basically, man, this is it. This is me just sitting here. I'm just making it easy for myself right now. Like, what are some of the things that get in the way of us doing what it is that we want to do? We know that some of them are making, okay, so like this is what Vadim talks about in this book. He's like, importance. When you have your importance too high, all of a sudden that creates what he calls, and he's a quantum physicist, so he can explain this probably better than I can, obviously, but it creates what's called an excess potential, which is like this energy. And if you want, you can think about it like you're creating this excess potential, and there's these balancing forces in the universe. So everything's always seeking balance in the universe, which he talks about. And if you have something that's so important, that level of importance, the more that you put on is just like basically, first of all, like depriving you of your energy, because your energy is like going over here, like making this thing so big, like huge, that you haven't even probably worked on it or haven't even done it. Like me with these vlogs, for instance, I'm like, oh, it has to be so perfect, the lighting and the mic and everything. But in reality, like, this is pretty much all I want to do is just share some ideas So this is a perfect way to do it. And but anyways, like he says with this importance, if you make something too important, all of a sudden you are on an energetic level distancing yourself actually from that thing, which is funny because that's something that, like, you know, you can listen to him talk about and you're like, wow, that, I mean, regardless of whether or not you think that logically makes sense, you can witness that in your own life. And I'm sure that as I'm even talking about this right now, I mean, I'm thinking of things, and I'm sure that you can probably think of some things as well, that when you made something such a big deal, it just kind of like doesn't end up working out. So that is just like one thing that he has brought to my attention, which is phenomenal. It's like one great piece of advice, like life advice, that if I could talk to myself even like 2 years ago, or even like a few years ago or whatever, even a couple months ago, and of course I might not listen because I'm kind of stubborn sometimes, but if I could have told my past self from 2 months ago, don't stress it, or even a year ago, because a year ago I wanted to make these vlogs, I wanted to do this shit every day, and I wanted to set up the camera, but like I said, I have like all these things, I'm like, oh, it has to be perfect, it has to be, you know, it's so important that it's perfect. In reality, I think that he's actually really spot on with that advice, and that this right here can actually be much more enjoyable when we kind of lower that importance and just do what it is that we act. That's what he talks about. He talks about intention, and he talks about like the fact that we have desire, and then on the other hand we have intention, and there's two separate things. Of course, they go together, they go hand in hand, because when you have a desire, that's what leads you to obviously act. However, he talks about it in a way, and it's just, like I said, not easy to grasp at first, the first time you hear it, but he talks about separating the two, and how, if you notice, for instance, when we lift our arm, or we want to lift our arm, we don't really have, like per se, I don't have like a desire. Maybe there is like a slight, we have the thought initially, but it's not like we're like sitting around with this desire to lift our arm. Or one example that he said that I really liked was when you go to pick up the mail in the mailbox, you don't have a desire for your mail. I mean, there's probably bills in there. Let's be honest. But like, what do? We just go and pick it up. We just walk to the mailbox and pick up what is ours. And that's the distinction that he makes with intention versus having desire. So I guess what really struck me about this is that every time when you have this importance that's so high, and that means that your desire, you have like this excessive desire, that really isn't doing you too much of it's not doing you any much good. But if you can just act, and if you just keep acting in that direction, and say you have a goal, say that you want to make videos, or you want to be the next G-Eazy, whatever it is, you, rather than sitting around because you're creating these excess potentials, which like I said, he can explain better than I can, you, by just sheerly acting and picking up what's yours and kind of having this, shifting your mindset into like less, not having desire, but actually just only having intention. Like, I have intention that I'm going to film this. That was my intention. I wasn't, when I set this up just now, I wasn't like sitting around like thinking, like, basically blocking myself. I really just put the tripod there, put the camera up, and hopefully it's in focus, and try to focus it, and then I started recording. And so that's what I think that I wanted to just do right now, so that I can kind of use it as an example of this intention thing. And intention is really, really powerful. It's not that easy to describe, the word intention, but when we intend, I think that that's when we act. We just do, because it's our intention. So it's like my intention to lift the arm, my intention to press record on the video, my intention to publish this. I'm not going to desire it. I'm not going to think, oh, I hope people like it. I'm not going to think, oh, what if they don't? I'm not going to think, what if nobody like, blah, blah, blah. There's no point in entertaining those thoughts, because really, if you want to move to your life track that is gonna make you happy. You just have to do. You just have to intend and intention, and that is what I wanted to share today. So, yeah, I'm gonna actually like talk more about this, and my videos are gonna get better. That's for sure. So stay tuned. And I'm definitely talking more about transurfing and this guy because these concepts are really, really cool. And even I've seen differences even just with as far as inspiration, let's go to say. Inspiration, you can't sit around waiting for it because it comes. That's what the thing about inspiration, right? Is it just comes when you least expect it. So that's another example right there. But I am definitely, okay, so then that's what happened to me this week, was that I was just like, I just sat down, started, writing. I don't know. It just happened because I wasn't waiting for it. So let's not wait around any longer, and whatever it is that our soul, that we know we want to do, let's get it. Let's do it. All right. Yeah, that's it for this video.